That is so funny. We are live now. There we are. All right. I got all confused and gonna bring on Kitty with me. That is just so funny, Kitty. You just can only imagine what I just did. I'm
Did you
thinking to
talk and
live.
not be live?
I sure was.
Oh, well,
I
that
didn't.
sounds good.
I didn't realize that I did not hit the little live button, and I'm trying to figure out why we're not live on Twitter at that point. I'm like, that's so weird. And then I'm looking up and I'm realizing, oh, because we're not live. I never hit the live button, but we're live now. So, Kitty, go ahead and introduce who you are and our show title, as I'm going to find us on all our platforms.
Um,
There we go. Now I found us.
I had dogs visiting me and all kinds of stuff going on. I'm Kitty Buttigieg Foss. I am the storytelling astrologer, reader of the stars, um, owner of co-owner of Intuition of the Soul, or the program Optimize. I'm coming to you live from Detroit, where I'm helping my sister out right now. So, and we are looking at Scorpio tonight. This is a Gazimi in Scorpio. This is big energy. If you happen to have your charts, it would be a good time to take a look at where Scorpio is in your chart. And also, because of the lunar eclipse in Taurus, to take a look at what two houses are being completely lit up. So,
Yes. And it was so funny because before, when I thought I was live, I was having a whole conversation about how I got distracted, got caught up doing something, and then before I knew it, I looked at the clock and I'm like, "Oh my God, I gotta jump on and get onto the live." And because I got all distracted by doing something else, I lost track of time. You ever have that when you feel like, okay, I have at least 10 minutes to do something. Let me go and do that, and then before you know it, that 10 minutes is like, oh shit, it's time already. That's exactly what I was tonight. I was in the midst of, oh my God, I'm running late. And then I get on thinking that I'm live and saying, okay, I'm going to just go and check to make sure I'm where I need to be. And I didn't even touch the live button.
hey, and I didn't help you at all because I come jumping on, and because like I said, I'm helping my sister at the moment. She has two dogs who had to go out. And as you know, it doesn't matter if we're live. It doesn't matter what the world is doing. When the doggies got to go out, and she has senior doggies. They're both 13. So there is no wait time here, folks.
Exactly.
It's just time to go. So,
Exactly.
Hi,
So
Sean.
before we dive in, who's here with us? Is there somebody here?
Yeah, Sean Williams. Sean.
I need to put myself on the part where I can see comments because I always keep my screen really big, and that stops me from seeing comments. So, oh, hello, Sean. How are you? Nice of you to be here. What is she saying? Hey, ladies, I just got your notification. You're live. Yes, we are. We are actually live now because I hit the button. Yes.
Because I came in and she was talking, and all of a sudden she goes, well, wait a minute. And I was like trying to get to so my response to her was, go live and I'll come back and wave at you. But it didn't matter because she wasn't live anyway.
Because I was not live yet because I forgot to hit the little button that says go live. So I'm looking and I'm looking and I'm trying to figure it all out. I'm like, what? I'm like, wait a minute. And I'm looking on my phone to see, making sure that I'm live. I'm going to all my platforms. And I'm looking on Twitter. I'm strolling. I'm like, why is it not here? So I said, let me go and check YouTube and see if it's there. And then something tells me just to look up on my screen. I'm like, something doesn't look right here because it doesn't say live on my page.
It really does go along with this Scorpio Solutions.
Yes.
The time of Scorpio, and of course, because of this new expansion we're on, this is divine transformation. And this lunar eclipse that's coming in is magnifying everything 3 times, but there is a quarter of the moon. So, like when you look at dark and light and your eyes get unfocused, that's kind of what this is. This is not a total revealing, nor is it a total block. And so one of the interesting things is this magnifies it, and you'll love this, my number friend, by 3 times.
Yes.
It very much magnifies this energy, multiplying it by 3 times. And
Yeah.
this is the final Taurus eclipse for almost a decade
Oh,
now.
wow. Yes. So before we actually dive into our topic, I do have a question before we dive into the topic, and I'm sort of hoping it's going to lead into our topic. When we think about the Scorpio Solutions, is this energy also about going down like memory lane? What I mean by that is
Oh yeah.
today. Ah, perfect. And why I asked that question is today I went out, did some errands, had acupuncture done, and then I was given a gift, so to speak, because my acupuncturist said to me, "Do you like cupping?" And I'm like, "I love cupping." She goes, "Well, I'm going to throw some cupping into the session today too." I'm like, "Wow, with the needles there too?" And she goes, "Yep, you're going to get the whole thing." So I got some cupping marks on my shoulder, and then when I was finished with that, I decided to take a drive down to where my old studio was located because there's now a bakery there. And the bakery has taken a little time to sort of get themselves up and going and opening to their grand opening. They ran into some permit issues, so they were open today. So I went over to the bakery, and the woman was sitting outside, and I had asked her, I said, "Excuse me, are you the owner?" And she goes, "Yes." I said, "Well, I just want to let you know you did a magnificent job. The place looks beautiful, and you got rid of the yellow walls." And she looks and she goes, "How did you know there were yellow walls?" I said, "Because I'm the previous owner." And she goes, "Oh my God, you have to come in and see the place then." And of course, I walked in and I was just like stunned by what the place looked like. I'm like, "Oh my God, you see how my white walls are here?"
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's what their walls are, white. Completely white. I'm like, wow, I went from this bright yellow color to white. But it's beautiful. It was really beautiful. The energy was beautiful. And it was like, wow. And then when I left there, a couple of days ago, as I was driving, waiting at a stoplight, some guy to the right of me in his car shouted out, "What is holistic fitness?" Because on the back of my car, on my bumper, I have holistic fitness. And then I also have my logo on the back of my car. And I'm hearing someone yelling this. And I'm like, who's saying that? In my mind, I thought Spirit was talking to me. Then all of a sudden I turn and this guy is like, "Hello, what is holistic fitness?" And I'm like, "It's my business, my personal training business." "Why?" "Oh, you have to come check out my gym." I'm like, "And where's your gym?" And he tells me, and in my head, I'm like, "There's a gym over there? When? Where? How?" So I went to visit his gym and I walked in and he was there. And for whatever the reasons are, he remembered me. He was like, "You're here." I'm like, "Yes, I am." Bright orange gym this guy has. So it was really quite interesting. So I just felt like I just went down memory lane today. I'm like, I wonder if this has anything
But
to do
memory,
with.
and that's actually a great story because it's memory lane with a twist.
Yes.
And that is really what this eclipse is about. It is completing something, some last string of value and understanding that you've had because of the Taurus piece of it, beauty, understanding that you are cutting. Of course, full moons are about letting go, giving forgiveness, and gratitude. And an eclipse really, especially this one at the Hunter's moon, really is magnifying 3 times over the synthesis of this last vestige of whatever you've been holding on to and showing it to you to say, thank it and let it go. That gratitude, and because you're so ready for these new values, this new transformation that is happening during this time of Scorpio. And it is a Scorpio solution. Scorpio truly believes I go into the dark, into the memories, into all of those things with the twist that, yes, it's my memory and I see exactly how it transforms. There's the twist, the scorpion piece of it. The solution, that what happened with these spaces, what happened with like my own logo. I think it's hysterical. An orange, of all things, an orange wall,
Yes.
considering all your orange walls in your life.
Yes. Yeah, the entire place, for most part, like the border and some of his equipment is orange. So when I walked in, I'm like, wow. I was like, it's orange in here. Like, that's quite interesting. It's like, yeah.
Yeah. And so it is, it's a memory with a twist. It's the evolution, the transformation of going back to that energy and feeling this other energy that was with you, seeing your old studio, having somebody notice your logo, all of those things. It's like, yes, I'm acknowledging all these things you've done. And here's that last piece now that you're cutting because you're going to other transformation. Very cool.
Yes. Yeah, it was quite interesting. I was just like, wow. Had an interesting day. I spent most of the day out. I think I got outside at about 2 something. And I was out pretty much all day. I didn't get back here until about 6:30.
Mm-hmm.
And then of course I had to look for my parking spot, and I rested for a little while, and here we are. Here we are talking about the Scorpio Solutions. So let's dive in. The Scorpio Solutions. What solutions are we going to be coming
I
receiving?
think we just talked about it, how we look at memories, how we interact with our memories. And the solution is always in the transformation for Scorpio. This is not a surface, and it's penetrating. It's those pieces that, we started with this solar eclipse that really was sparking us anew, setting us on a path. And this is kind of like on the path, taking the broom and sweeping away, moving the tree that perhaps is we now see across the path before thinking that it was just diverting us. And like I said, it's memories with a twist now. I'm revisiting this energy, recreating it and transforming it. And that's Scorpio's solution. How do I take what I know and feel it differently, transform it differently, So Sean said, I met a lovely lady yesterday who had the loving memories of a beautiful friend I lost with a twist. She had a ninja turtle on. It was a wonderful, loving memory meeting a lovely soul. And that is kind of what the solution is how do I visit this as I dive into the dark, how do I look at this to find the light of these situations, to see what's changed, to understand there's an energetic, to kind of meet those other timelines that we travel with. And this is what this moon is about. This is a very powerful magnification of what it is that we let go, that stabilizes us, that we find beauty, that is about our values. So look at where's Scorpio on your chart?
Scorpio for me is, and before I answer that question, just to confirm for me, a lunar eclipse takes place 3:36 a.m. or p.m.?
It's p.m., but I don't know. I think it just barely starts at 3:36. I can't remember what the other time was. I sent out the
4:24 p.m. for the full moon.
Is the full moon, yeah.
Yeah, because when you had mentioned this in the our class, I wrote down the times, and somewhere along the line, I lost the AM PM hour. I'm like, okay, so what does she say? And I can't tell you how many times I've said to myself, I'm going to go look at my astrological calendar to find out this information. I must have walked past that astrological calendar about a dozen times, and not one time did I ever look to see. And it just showed up in my head right now, so that's why I had to ask. So the answer to your question regarding where Scorpio is on my moon, you would think I had like a whole pot of coffee today. And I did not. I had 1 cup of coffee today. So Scorpio for me, Scorpio. I'm going to start to sing soon. Scorpio sits between my 4th and 5th house. And I do have Jupiter in Scorpio.
So between the 4th and 5th house, so it is definitely asking you to have some kind of different understanding. And you've been talking about this. Fun, understanding of fun and your family. And look what you did today. You actually reached out to change a family tradition. And because it makes perfect sense. Again, wherever Scorpio is, it is really kicking up that transformative energy. Sean says she has Scorpio Mars in the 8th house.
Yes, I see that. Yes.
And so she's got transformations of transformations going on. She has a really big deep dive, which makes the opposite for her, that Taurus energy, be second house. So it's very much about the stabilizing of your what you're choosing to transform, Sean, how you're aligning your Mars in that transformation. Um, and then for Joanne, you said you had Jupiter in which house?
Jupiter is in my bear with me, my fourth house.
Your fourth house. So there is a, oh, you can't make this stuff up, man. An
No, we can't.
expansion of family, an expansion of how you're going to have fun with your family and transform it and move forward creatively at looking at it differently. And so I'm also Scorpio in the 10th house with a little piece on the 11th. And so mine is about a transformative in my work, how I'm looking at my work, how I'm doing my work, how I'm attracting and getting information with it. Sean says, I have Jupiter and Venus too in the 9th house. I feel all my Scorpio placements. You are right now. There's a gazimi going on because Mars is in Scorpio. So you've got kind of a double alignment there, Sean. And so is the sun. And so is Mercury right now. And so
Oh, yeah,
that,
she's got a lot going on
yeah, very
with the
much
collective energy.
transforming our communication, our experience, how we align our will for that experience and that transformative. Remember, it's the life and death cycle. And look what's happening in the world right now. Pretty much the life and death cycle.
Yes, yes. Now, where is Sean watching us from? Is she on your page?
I'm not sure. She's on YouTube because
Oh,
it's
okay.
a
Okay, so
YouTube
she's on my
channel.
YouTube page. Okay,
Mhm.
yes. Yes.
It brings a big awareness of fears and relationship energy because of the Venus ruler of Taurus. So that's what I mean. It's these last vestiges of falseness, things you've been holding on to that you are not aligned with your values and bring you fear. And it's your relationship with yourself, especially on how you're moving forward, you know.
Yes.
So
She also has Sagittarius Sun and Mercury in Capricorn in her 11th house.
mhm. So she's got some kind of transformation going on with that, how she experiences things in Friends and Blessings. So there's big energy available in this. But this is such an interesting time because we've been through this kind of divine understanding of Taurus, and now we're getting its counterpart, Scorpio, the divine understanding of what transformation does and how it stabilizes us because we really looked at our values, looked at how we stabilize. So those Taurus placements are also the places of the conversation
Yes.
as well
You're
as
reading my mind because I was just about to ask you in regards to with the full moon in Taurus, and we also have both Uranus and Jupiter in Taurus in retrograde. So how does that play a role in all of this
well,
dance that we're doing?
you know, we've been talking about Uranus a lot anyway because of this kind of where mankind is in this. How do we want to be? This midlife mankind is heading into, um, and of course here's Jupiter expanding our values, expanding our relationships with ourselves, with the cosmic universe in Taurus, because you're talking about your home. So you're talking about Earth. Um, well, that was interesting. And so it really is, again, we're really looking at that relationships and our fears and even our understanding of our relationship with Earth right now. And so, it is really um, exquisitely beautiful. This, but it's messy because it's transformation.
Mm-hmm.
And it's what we value because Venus is the ruler of Taurus. It's all about the relationships we have with everything at the moment. And of course, we've just come out of Libra where we spend a lot of time with Venus. So this
Yes.
is kind of another dose of that. How do I balance? How do I find stability? Because I've got now Taurus in my home, and Taurus is it only moves at the pace it's meant to move. And this is a very deep movement. It's like a establishment of a new kind of jumping off place right now.
Yes, yes, I love it. It's
And it's three, it's synthesis. Well,
yeah.
why don't you talk about three for a minute?
Say that again.
Talk about three, because I'm going to tell everybody to watch for threes over the next couple of
Yes. Well, yeah. Let's talk about threes. How about we do that?
Okay.
Threes. What does three mean in numerology? Well, three. I always see three as the triangle where it could be the mind, body, spirit. It can be whatever it is you want it to be. But in numerology, it is really about how we communicate. Communication in a sense of speaking, but also in a sense of what you need to hear. Pay attention to those voices that are around you when no one is around you, because that's going to play a big role where it actually helps you to heighten up your intuition. When you start to hear those voices, there's spirit that's connecting with you, specifically loved ones. They're not there to harm you. They're not there to scare you. So if you're afraid of a spirit showing up, based on my belief anyway, they're not there to harm you. They're really there to give you guidance. They may actually be just lost. And most of the time, if they are hanging around you, you are sensitive to their energy and they know that. So that's why they show up. So they can give you a message. Although that message may not necessarily be for you, it may be a message that you have to give to someone. You might be asking, well, how do I know if I'm supposed to give it to someone? You'll know that the message is not for you, and then you'll end up being around someone, and all of a sudden that message will come to your mind, and that's the person you have to deliver the message to. And it becomes a lot of fun when you become that catalyst. They feel safe around you. So we have the communication aspects, we have the listening aspects. Collaboration. This is a really great time to collaborate. So if you are in business, this is a great time to network. Get your message out there. It's also a great time for transforming your message. So you may be in that mindset to, might be thinking about changing your business name. You may want to change something on your website. There's definitely some sort of transformation taking place. I also recommend that you go and check out what was the title to my live yesterday? I don't remember. But anyway, I gave a 12 card reading for all the zodiac signs, and that could help you based on this energy that we are moving into. So you can find that that's the most recent post on my YouTube channel, besides this one. In addition to the collaboration, networking with one another, it's also a really great time for creativity. You may start to notice you become more creative. Creative in the sense of how you communicate with somebody, creative in the sense of how you're dressing, creative in the sense of just how you're moving your body. What I'm also hearing is creative flow. Things are just going to flow easily where you're not going to have to force anything right now, and allow yourself to be led through that energy. So if you're being guided like I was today to go down memory lane, go down memory lane if you're being guided to, because there's something there to help you through your transformation. So in addition to your creativity, collaboration, networking, listening, speaking, especially speaking, this would be a great time to reach out to different people in reference to speaking engagements. That if there's something you want to share, some sort of message, start reaching out. Put that information out there. I've noticed on Facebook there's more and more people sharing their message, and I think this is a great time for that, because that's what this is about. It's about your transformation, being able to be in that space of that three energy. So if you do start to see the number 3, or let's say you see the number 33, 33 is reminding you that you are literally the master creator, and also that 33 carries the energy of Buddhist, Jesus, and the high priestess. So therefore that energy is very powerful, and it's reminding you that you are the master creator. You're also the master sacrificer, which means there's something you want to sacrifice so you can create the next thing. In addition, another popular number for 3 is our angel number 333. That's reminding you that spirit is with you. That literally spirit is right there with you, guiding and supporting you on your journey. So you're never alone. If you feel like you're alone, you're never alone. I hear people ask me all the time, do you enjoy spending so much time alone? I'm like, well, I'm never alone. I even when I go into the shower, I'm never alone. Spirit just comes and joins me and has conversations with me. So those are the numbers you want to pay attention to should they be popping up. Pay attention, and I've actually said this to a few people these days. Pay attention that if you're waking up in the middle of the night, consciously look at the clock. Pay attention. Write that number down. Keep a pen and paper by your bedside. Write the number down to see what time you're being wakened, because theoretically that's spirit trying to reach out to you. And then play a game with it and see if it adds to number 3, or if you happen to be waking up at, let's say, maybe 3 o'clock or 3:03 or 3:33 for that matter, because that may happen. And because we're talking about it right now, I'm definitely helping you like plant that seed, and all of a sudden now you're gonna be like, oh my God, I'm seeing threes everywhere. And that's exactly what this energy is about. The 3 is all about creating, communicating, collaborating, networking, speaking, and listening. Listening is a big one. So there's your 3s. There's your 3s.
And it was funny because as you were saying that, I see Sean wrote that, but I know that she's looking at her business and her names, and there's a lot of transformation going on internally, externally, what we call to ourselves, and it is to stabilize ourselves. It is a karmic end of a cycle. This Taurus eclipses we've had, this whole Taurus eclipse, we started on a path, and it's really to shine the light on those karmic ties and contracts that we can now let go of and we can say are different. Now, it doesn't mean that everything is yippee skippy. And yes, I understand there are lots of things going on in the world. I myself today had been thinking a lot about a particular one because I'm from the state of Maine, and this is part of what's happening in this karmic release of who do we want to be, that Uranus question of what life do I want to live, what life do I want to live, and do we want human beings to live? And this is calling voices, that 3 number of communication, forward, to use your voice, to hold your own worth, and to experience the life the way you want to, and revisit memories with a twist. Maybe what caused me great pain or causes me pain, I twist it. The twist is to go back. I'm going to change that energy that transported me through a doorway, and now I can feel it without it applying to a bigger pattern in my head. It's a feeling, and feelings aren't facts. They're just there to guide us, and give us more information for our truth. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, and when we talk about feeling, let's just think about, reflect on how many of our planets right now are actually in water energy. We have 5 planets. We have, what do we have? Mercury, the Sun, and Mars in Scorpio. Mm-hmm. And then we have Neptune and Saturn in Pisces. That's a lot of water energy. That's a lot of emotions.
Right. And then what do we have with it? Jupiter and our external planets, Jupiter, Uranus, are in Taurus. Again, those are slower moving energies, very earth, very grounding. And our Pluto energy is Capricorn, very much the bigger physical energy. So a lot of this is expressing physically. A lot of it's about how we look at our home and the life we create. So it's really very interesting. And, Taurus, remember, is going forward. Taurus is about happy home life, trusting your inner wisdom, taking a new approach in a slow and purposeful manner. Taurus is not quick. Now, Scorpio, on the other hand, is always switching. Taurus comes up behind it and kind of does it, It's Scorpio won't let you be in one spot, and Taurus is always kind of saying, chill for a minute. So.
Yes. Well, I guess that's why with Scorpio, it's about transformations.
Yeah, transformations.
Transforming. It's like, I believe you said this expression once. It's like one foot is out the door while the other one's still in the door. Like, we want to go. We got to go.
Gotta go. Yeah.
Yes. All right, you want to pull some cards and see what we have, what additional insights we have for our viewers?
Yes, I think I'm going to use your cards.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, just one set of cards. Mrs. Foss here is tired.
Yes, I can hear it in your voice that you're tired.
This was a hard day.
Yes.
I live in a little tiny state, and we all know each other. We're starting to find out, um, you know, we're just starting to find out what this means. But again, it was a very deep, dark delve into darkness, and we will find a light. And what comes out for me?
Okay, before you even dive into that number, I just have to mention this. I have 3 cards that I pulled, and we were just talking about our threes, and we're always talking about the 369 formula. So just to show, and then I'll have Kitty show her card. We have 3 right here, which is our 12. We have our 33, which we just talked about, which is our 6. And then we have our 63, which is our 9. So we can't make this shit up if we try.
Well, it's interesting because I started to show you. I got 28, which is about new relationships, which is what this eclipse is. A new relationship, that karmic release, crucial, comes to be a 10. And of course, it's about rooting ourselves. We just talked about that earth. And you can't make this up because look at the second one I got. 99, forgiveness. Of course, 9, that 369. And this is forgiveness. This is exactly what a full moon is about, including ourselves. That forgiveness of when I know better, I do better. And forgiveness just means not letting something have power over you anymore.
Yes. And I'm loving how our cards are really connecting, because Kitty's first card was all about the new relationship, correct? That 24?
Yes.
New relationship. And her second card was 99, forgiveness. My first card that flew out was love partnership. And in the 9 energy, which is about the transformation, it's about letting things go. And that's exactly what this energy is all about, in regards to the forgiveness process. Whatever it is that's going on in any relationship, it doesn't have to be an intimate relationship. It could be a friendship, because there's whatever it is, there's always love surrounding it. And the idea of it is, in order to have a love partnership, it requires communication. When we cut communication off, we are literally cutting off the process of healing. We need to communicate. Even if whatever it is we are going to say to one another isn't going to be the nicest things, we still need to keep communication open. And that's what this chakra is all about. It's about the throat chakra. So communicating, the card that Kitty got, which is the forgiveness card. Forgiving yourself, and then forgiving the other party that's involved with whatever it is that the communication has cut off. Hold on a second, I'm about to cough. Because we talked about the throat chakra, so why not? Why not cough? So yeah, so that transformation right there is learning to be in that space where you can forgive yourself, and forgive everybody else. Because there's one thing that we're all learning very quickly. Life is short. You are not promised tomorrow.
Mm-mm.
And because we're not promised tomorrow, why not keep the communication flowing? So that's
right. And even if the communication is just boundaries, that is still communication. This is a boundary, especially when you're talking about forgiveness and all of those things. Here's my boundary. I'm not letting this have power over me.
Yes. And then my second card is health. Now, believe it or not, when we do stop communicating, it does affect our health, because there's something out of alignment. So it's so important to really concentrate on moving into that space of love and forgiveness, so you can have better health. And that sacral energy is all about empowering yourself in the process of finding love and forgiveness. And throat chakra for both Kitty and I, because we're both sitting here coughing our heads off. This is what happens.
I'm actually sucking on something to help me.
Oh, okay. Yes. So when we think about that 33, remember I spoke about this before. That 33 is, you are the master creator. What do you want to create? And how can you tap into your sacral energy to empower yourself and empower someone else, and be that person that just goes into that space of forgiveness. And the third card is communication, which is what we've been talking about this whole darn time. Communication. It really is the only way that we all do it. We have to communicate. If we want to collaborate, if we want to network, if we want to transform, we're communicating with someone, and we're communicating with ourselves as well. So if you're not going to forgive somebody, at least forgive yourself.
Well, and what's really important to remember about communication, I know this as a special education teacher for years. 2/3 of all our communication is nonverbal. It's in how we act. It's in the energy we give off. There is all kinds of communication that go beyond the agreements we have around words.
Yes,
and so there's, that's a bigger piece of communication to understand. And again, that's one reason we meditate, is to get into a state of communication and flow. So.
Yes, exactly. What was it? I was just about to say something and the thought went out my head. Come back, thought. What was I going to say? I can't remember. It will come back if it's important enough. Right now, I guess it's not important. So, yeah. Do you have another card for us?
No, I actually put him away. I think that we can't make this. So if you want to pull one more, we can't make this stuff up, how well these messages have gone along with this moon.
Actually, I'm not going to pull another card, but what I am going to do, give me a second, because this requires a calculator. I am going to add all the numbers that we did get tonight. So we got the 28 plus the 99 plus the 63 plus 33 plus 12. And usually I bring these numbers down to a single digit right away, but that would only make sense. Okay, that number adds out to 235. So now we got to take that to a single digit. It adds to a 10.
It's a new start. It's
like
the very first card pulled. Same number.
Exactly. We're full circle. It is about a new start, and that's what this lunar eclipse is about. It's about helping us to let go. That's what full moon's all about, is letting go.
It's a karmic reset. It's letting go karmic. So
yes. And shortly after the lunar eclipse and full moon is this Saturday, right? Is that the 28th?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And several days later, on November 4th, we have Saturn going direct. And Saturn's in Pisces. And Kitty and I will come and share more about that at a different time, because that has its own energy and a lot of information behind it as well. So all that being said, did anybody else just join us? Because I see that there's a second person on with us. Did anybody else? Let me check my page. Let's see. Is there anybody joining us that just popped in? I want to say hello to. Come on, internet. Play along. Play along, please. Why did it end? We didn't end. We're still here, aren't we? Aren't we still here? Aren't we still live? I love technology. Just gotta love technology. All right, somebody's obviously here because there's lots of little things going on right now. So let me see who is here. Whomever it is that's here, sorry I don't see you just yet. So whomever you are, hello. And I will definitely come back later when we're not live to say hello to you, but I don't see your name just yet. But anyway, so what we're going to do now is we're going to say goodnight. So this way here, Kitty can go to rest. And we will be back and share some more amazing insight with you definitely next week, because there's lots going on, like I said.
Well, and we probably need to do a few extra in Scorpio, because it's not a time of play, and we like to play. So it's always to remember that.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, yes. And Kitty and I do love to play. In fact, funny story, I was working with a client the other day, giving her a reading. And before I gave her a reading, she had an energy session with me. And one of the things that I kept picking up for her was that she's got to play. She's got to play. And as I was shuffling the cards to get her prepared to shuffle the cards, the card that literally flew out of the deck was the card that said play. So I had said to her, well, if you didn't hear me say it, the card's saying it now.
Yeah. very much.
It was very much obvious she needed to
And,
play.
and this veil is very thin, folks. So you can play with spirit. You can actually ask them, show me something. I had the course optimized tonight, the initial course, and we had several of those kinds of things where somebody got a message for somebody and it was something they had looked at. Spirit's doing a lot of playing right now. So even though this is a deep dive, there is a lightness to it because it's about a search for lightness. So,
Yeah.
all right. Thank you all for being here.
Yes, thank you, thank you. We will see you next time very soon as Kitty and I come back and play. Kitty, you want to let them know how they can reach you and if there's anything that you
Sure.
have to offer and share with them?
Sure. If you're interested in a natal chart reading, contact me at intuitionofthesoul11@gmail.com, or a synastry meeting, which is a reading is about you and a child or a partner. I especially like to do the ones with children, and or a natal or a solar return chart. But anyway, and I come join us at Intuition of the Soul. We have things that Joanne puts on, all kinds of different, very talented people that we regularly are blessed to have them share their information with. So,
Yes. And for those of you who are interested, on Halloween, the 31st, I am offering Halloween readings. There's still 3 spots available. So if you're interested, those spots are at 5:30, 6, and 6:30 p.m. Eastern. If you would like to be one of those, take one of those spots, just message me, email, whichever way is easier. And that's all I have for you for right now. Till next time, we will be back. Bye-bye for now.
Bye-bye.